I kissed your trace in stellar ash, where dying stars dissolve and crash. You blinked away with no regret, a glitch inside my neural net. I mapped your name in radio bands, but found just noise and empty hands. Neutrino kisses, cold and brief, they pass like thoughts beneath belief. No force to hold, no mask to break, just love too fast for hearts to take. You're gone before the pulse can start. A quiet crash at speed of heart. I begged the void to send you back, but time just stretched a silent track. The pulses froze, the waveforms bled. You left before the stars turned red. My orbit shrank with every spin, and still you slipped like light within. Neutrino kisses, cold and brief, they pass like thoughts beneath belief. No force to hold, no mask to break, just love too fast for hearts to take. You're gone before the pulse can start. A quiet crash at speed of heart. Collapse me now in feedback loops, surround me with your spectral swoops. A vacuum can't forgive or feel, but still it hums with wounds you seal. I trace your echo through the flare, a silent shape like you're still there. We loved like quasars, brief, immense, and burned out past all common sense. The tether snapped, the math went blind, but still you orbit through my mind. Neutrino kisses, fast and far. You brushed my lips, then left a scar. Too faint to catch, too sharp to lose. A physics I did not choose. Your farewell traveled light and slow. I caught it years and tears ago.
Goodbye, you said with particles, and I believed in miracles.
I kept your voice in carbon rings, where broken light forgets its wings. You spoke in tones the stars ignored, a static hush the void adored. The universe was winding down, but you still wore that leaving frown. Your voice was the last sound before the heat death, whispers that chilled every atom beneath breath. I reached through time him in monochrome. My chest's a husk of muted glass, still waiting for your song to pass. To bring you back, just echo trails and dying black. Your voice decayed past what I knew, but still it breaks the sky in two. I'd burn again to hear it right, but stars don't bloom from endless night. Your voice was the last sound before the heat death, a spectral humming collapsing deep breath. No echo left, no song to play, just one lost chord that slipped away. You sang and then the cosmos froze, a love unwound where nothing grows.
This is the last transmission. Goodbye.
I built us walls from stardust ash and sealed them tight to block the crash. No air, no heat, just perfect still. A love suspended, bent to will. But silence isn't safety, friend. It's where the laws of care suspend. I tried to love you in a vacuum and you evaporated. All bonds dissolved, all touch negated. Nowhere to scream, no breath to spare. You turned to mist and weren't there. I held on tight, you turned to steam. Another glitch inside the dream. I offered you my oxygen, but you just mouthed not this again. I floated there, a spectral wreck, a comet's tail without a neck. The chamber cracks, the lights went red, but all I saw was what you said. I tried to love you in a vacuum and you evaporated like molecules that faded, hated. You shimmered once, then bled away. Your warmth too faint for me to stay. I called your name, no echo came, just frozen dust and silent blame. The laws of physics were too kind. They let you leave me far behind. I begged the void to pull you near, but love can bloom where none can hear. We kissed inside a pressure seal, but nothing held and none was real. Your smile dissolved, your hands went thin. You vanished like you'd never been. You slipped away in astral light. No space to breathe, no eye to cry. I tried to love you in a vacuum and you evaporated. My gravity disintegrated. A perfect void where we began. Now just a breeze. I broke apart too fast, too loud. A flare that lit your sky, then bowed. My sorry came in light, years late, distorted by a warped out fade. You saw my love in bent display, a mirrored arc that slipped away. This is my supernova plea, a flash of guilt and symmetry. I burned too hot to form the truth, collapsed beneath the weight of youth. I'm sorry in a loop delay, a ghost of light you watched decay. A car forgiven cosmic dust, but time erodes all signs of trust. The lens between us curved my face. You watched the echo, not the place. I split in fragments, tried to show, but all you caught was afterglow. This is my supernova plea, a flare of blame you'll never see. My brightest parts were born to die, exploding just to make you cry. I'm sorry in a lightless loop, a silent flare in stellar soup. I thought I loved you in real time, but I was years beyond the crime. You saw my past, not who I am, just scattered light, a starlit scam. I wanted warmth but gave you shock, a neutron heart behind the rock. My sorry bent around your skin, but never quite got pulled within. I watched your orbit fall askew, still hoping light would reach to you. This is my supernova plea, a warped apology from me. My voice was curved through stellar pain, so you heard love but got disdain. I broke the sky and didn't care until your silence filled the air. I'm sorry, but not in real time. I scanned the logs for signs of you, in memory blocks and caches too. I looped through every stored routine, but nothing matched the in-between. I indexed pain and nested threads, but found no trace where love once bled. The algorithm thing you returns null, avoided call and logic dull. I typed your name into the code, but every path just overflowed. You slipped outside the infantry, no query brings you back to me. I built a script to simulate your voice, your laugh, your exit state. The model ran, the screen turned black. It couldn't learn, you won't come back. I parsed regret in JSON lines, but heartbreak isn't neatly signed. The algorithm for missing you returns null. No syntax fits this aching love. I debug love, rebuilt each block, but every run just wrote a patch to bring you near, but all it did was make things clear. The algorithm for missing you returns. No, a program goes forever dull. No runtime fix can hold your name. No update clears this looping shame. You're gone outside my system scope, and every line deletes my hope. You said you'd orbit close this time, but vanished past detection line. No signals ping, no pulses beep. You're just a force that makes me weep. I reach for you in cosmic black, but dark matter doesn't text back. You're everything and nothing too. A mask that bends me, not a clue. You hold me tight, then disappear. A presence I can't make appear. No message left, no single track, just silence. Dark matter doesn't text back. You move the stars with no hello. Invisible, but still I know. You shaped my path, then slipped away. A lover built from quantum gray. I orbit you, I crack and fray, but you don't ever choose to stay. You're everything and nothing too. A force that pulls but won't come through. You haunt the space between my tries. A whisper dressed in alibis. You warp my thoughts, you bend the tracks. Still nothing. Dark matter doesn't text back. No status read, no dots appear. You're always gone, yet always near. A paradox I can't decode. A love that's dark and won't upload. No status read, no dots appear. You're always gone, yet always near. A paradox I can't decode. A love that's dark and won't upload. I sent you pings in Morse and pain. They fell through stars and back again, but no reply, just empty wait. A silent mess I couldn't date. The universe can't fill this lack, especially when dark matter won't text back. You're all around and yet not real. A phantom force I always feel. You don't exist, at least not clear, but you still ruin every year. You bend the world and crack my track. No closure. Dark matter doesn't text back. I turned a corner made of sound and saw your face not yet unbound. You smiled inside a folded plane, then vanished through my phantom brain. I reached for you across the seams, but fifth dimension breaks all dreams. I'm crying in the fifth dimension, where love distorts with no prevention. Your echo warps through time and hue, 1,000 versions, not quite you. Each tear I shed becomes a line that loops around what once was mine. I saw us kiss in variant forms, in fractal storms, in hearts with thorns. In one we danced through starlit frost, in all the rest you still were lost. No anchor holds in worlds like these, where grief is stacked in boundless keys. I'm crying in the fifth dimension, where every thought seeks your attention. But versions split and splinter deep, so even hope can't learn to keep. You blur in tears in vector trace, or maybe lost in every place. In mirror time, but flipped away in nested rhyme. I built a map of where we were. It loops but never will occur. I walk the axis, love for God, a tesseract of every night. You cry beside me, then you fade, a ghost my memory replayed. I see you cry a moment late, then smile in versions built by fate. I'm crying in the fifth dimension, where longing bends intention, tension. No path can hold the you I need, just fragments caught in multi-speed. A trillion timelines still untrue, and none of them return me you.
I miss you in every universe. You glide.
I watched you drift beyond my reach, a fading line no force could breach. You slipped through time's expanding thread, and left my orbit cold and bled. Each second stretched you farther still, your echo read your promise now. Redshifted heartache, endless flight, your love now smeared in crimson light. A wavelength I can't hold or hear, but still I chase you year by year. Held your version, same regret, and everyone remembers yet. I saw our past through warp delay, the love we had a ghost and gray. You looked at me through fractured scope, but every look undid my hope. You moved too fast to feel me break, and left no trace I didn't fake. Redshifted heartache, fading calls, you vanished past my signal walls. The faster that you tried to run, the more you blurred into the sun. Damn, version split and gone, but I still break in everyone. Your kiss was stretched across the void, a silent code that got destroyed. I sent my love through dying stars, it bounced off moons and shattered scars. Your name's a blur in spectrum flame, a heat that doesn't take the blame. You're out beyond what I can track, a color I can't get you back. I slow myself to meet your fate, but every version still gets played. Redshifted heartache past the line where love forgets it once was mine. I search the sky for any clue, but all I see is not quite you. Timelines I dissect, each one a loss I can't correct. We said goodbye, then met again. Not lovers, not quite less than friends. You turned, I turned, the line was bent. A twist of space where feelings went. I cried, you smiled, then I forgot. And suddenly we'd never fought. We broke up on a Mobius strip, one-sided love with a double flip. We walked apart but met mid-cry. Goodbye turned into you and I. No matter how the end would start, we circled back to fall apart. I kissed your ghost and mirrored face. You vanished into looping haze. I begged for sense, you laughed instead, then cried the words you hadn't said. I lost my place inside the thread, but found your name in things I read. We broke up on a Mobius strip, a twist inside a sinking ship. Each step we took just led to more of what we lost, of what we swore. A paradox of still and done, where every break begins to run. No front, no back, no left or right, just gravity and feedback like I held your hand, or maybe mine. I can't unwind this cursed design. I watched you leave, then felt you stay, then cried because you'd gone away. I said it's over, then I turned and saw your eyes where I still burned. We chased the loop, we bit the line, still thinking love could realign. We broke up on a Mobius strip, each kiss became a sinking blip. No edge to leap, no star to flee, just broken vows in symmetry. No final end, just tangled art. We circled back to fall apart again, again, again. I tried to split from what we were, but atoms hum with your old blur. My quarks still lean toward where you stood, a symmetry misunderstood. No force can pull this tether free. You're coated deep in strands of me. Your name is still stored in my entangled particles, a ghost in quantum orbitals. Across the void you twitch, I break a ripple every time you wake. We never touched in perfect space, but I burned the notes, deleted logs, but echoes live in tangled cogs. Each time I breathe, you blink away, then flare in thoughts I can't delay. We're bound beyond what I can see, collapsing states inside of me. Your name is still stored in my entangled particles. No firewall for these articles. You love someone the world won't know, but every atom set to show. No time, no place can intervene. My smallest parts still keep you seen. They say the act of love collapses waves, but you just left and nothing saves. We never kissed in any frame, yet all my masks still chant your name. I move, you flinch, I scream, you breathe. A bond we never chose to leave. No text, no call, no final fight, just quantum threads that hold too tight. The tether hums, the silence glows. Where you begin is where hope goes. Your name is still stored in my entangled particles. A love that mocks all logic's rules. Across the void we split, we stay, each heartbeat bent in your own way. They'll never see the way we break, but I could laugh for your mistake. Still spinning, still you. You looked at me with static light, your pupils warped too wide, too right. I saw the pull, the tidal gleam, a gravity that cracked my dream. You smiled and time began to bend. I knew that love had met its end. Adventure rising eyes, no turning back. You pulled me in through every crack. The closer I approached your core, the less I knew what I was for. No message leaves, no meaning stays, just echoes lost in endless space. You said goodbye without a word. The sound got caught, was never heard. My love fell in but couldn't scream. It vanished in a silent beam. I reached, but hands don't matter there. Where touch just folds into despair. Eventurizing eyes, my last regret. A point where pain and truth both set. I circled once, then time grew thin, and all I had was pulled within. You watched me go, you didn't flinch. My soul collapsed without a pinch. The stars went dark, the heat grew low, but still you glowed in afterglow. I think I loved a dying star, or maybe just what you once were. No light escapes, no moment saves, just you and I in separate graves. Event horizon eyes, uncharted pool, a look that left my heart half full. You were the edge, the fatal kiss, the death of mass disguised as bliss. I crossed your line and lost my name, still loving you inside the flame. I watched her come, streak the sky, a brilliant burn that passed me by. No pause, no nod, no second glance, just speed and place of circumstance. It lit the dark, then slipped away, like you did once, without delay. Comets don't care if you're lonely, they blaze their path and vanish coldly. You beg the stars to see your ache, but all they do is burn and break. You cry beneath their ancient track, they never pause, they don't look back. I named one after what we lost, a tale of fire, a trail of cost. It didn't slow, it didn't see, just carved a line right out of me. The silence held more warmth than you, at least it stayed when I fell through. Comets don't care if you're lonely, they pass like ghosts who leave you wholly. You scream beneath their blinding light, but space can't hear you mourn at night. They light the sky with no intent to blaze a loss, and then they're spent. I reached for fire, I held the freeze. I thought that love could bend with ease, but motion isn't always choice, and silence has the loudest voice. I used to wish on things that fly, but now I know they don't reply. A trail of light, a heart unkept. You never turned, you never wept. You left and stars just did their show, unchanged by where I let you go. Comets don't care if you're lonely, they flare and fade eternally. They crash through hearts with zero aim, too far, too fast to take the blame. So next time one ignites the black, just let it go, it won't look back. We danced too close in stellar loops, two blazing hearts in mirrored swoops. We pulled and spun, we burned and bled, too fused to live, too bright to shed. I tried to match your fractured spin, but gravity tore at my skin. Your orbit cracked, and so did I. We loved too hard to say goodbye. We held too tight, we blazed too fast. A bond no system lets outlast. Binary star love was never sustainable. Two souls in sync but uncontainable. We lit the dark, then ate our flame. A cosmic wreck with no one blamed. We circled till we cracked the sky. Two stars that kissed, then had to die. I saw you flare, then fall away. Your light refracted in dismay. No supernova warning sign, just silence stretched along the line. I thought I'd hold through every phase, but love decays in tidal haze. We never paused, we never cooled, just orbit bound and thermal ruled. We radiated love too wild, a fusion doomed, a feral child. Binary star love was never sustainable. Our beauty made us unexplainable. We pulsed and cracked through stellar code, then burst apart, our paths erode. Now every light I see is bent by what we were and what we spent. I thought we'd drift into the cold, but we collapsed uncontrolled. There's no escape when orbits bind, just fire, regret, and left behind. Binary star love was never sustainable. Too bright, too close, too unattainable. We lit the night with death and glow, and now I shine but not below. You spiral still, I feel you fade, but stars like us were never made. Slipped into this pressure suit, charred threads laced with old dispute. The heat rose up, I didn't flinch. Each breath a curse, each step an inch. They stared while ash slid down my back, but I still walked, didn't look back. Existential dragon, 4,000 Kelvin, wearing bright like scorched metal, welded in. I burn with purpose, no one gets. A walking torch of past regrets. The world collapses, cool and cruel, but I still stride, still play the fool. No pageantry, just armored calm. This heat has never felt like harm. I wear my rage like tempered steel. It bends, it breaks, but it's still real. This is my war path, cracked and dry, but I won't kneel, I won't ask why. Existential dragon, 4,000 Kelvin, bleed. Now I just walk and let it see. Collapse looks good when held in line, and silence scorches just like mine. My hands are blistered, breath is steam, but no one dreams as loud as dream. So watch me fall in perfect pace, while flames reflect off of my face. Existential dragon, 4,000 Kelvin. Last man walking, last man melting. I don't need style, don't need applause. My burn is forged from every loss. I walk through endings like a ride. One more ghost, light. Still standing, still burning, still me. I typed your name into the dark, but every search came back too stark. A blinking screen, a frozen stare. No presence left, no signal there. You used to glow like data warm. Now just a failed emotional form. Black hole sun at 4:04. The love I knew exists no more. I scroll through dreams you once compiled, but every file returns to file. Your voice, your touch, your final tone, corrupted, blank, and not my own. I bookmarked hope in binary, but love is not a guarantee. You vanished through a broken gate, a ghost in cached recursive state. My browser stalls on every try, while fragments loop a muted cry. Black hole sun at 4:04. My longing pings a closed front door. I refresh grief, I call again, but all I get is phantom pain. Your trace was wiped, your syntax burned, a line of code that won't return. I tried to fix the love we made, but every patch just shows you fade. I debug tears, I parse goodbyes, but all I get is no replies. The gravity has done its theft, not even light or breath is left. You left no mark, just syntax rot, a perfect void where you are Black holes on at 4:04. The final line, the final war. I write these words to empty space. No reader left to feel their trace. You were a loop that broke the rhyme, and now I drift outside of time. This file could not be found.